Located in Riverside County, California, lies the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility. Back on September 8th, 2020, at around 9:30 p.m., an inmate who was facing multiple child molestation charges, 29-year-old Rosendo Echavarria, would be brutally attacked and ultimately killed by 3 fellow inmates, 26-year-old Aaron Allen Aubrey, 43-year-old Jason Lynn Barton, and 37-year-old Richard Hampton.
Grim end to a missing person investigation. A woman's body was found yesterday near the base of Box Springs Mountain, just outside the Riverside city limits. A woman had been reported missing from her home in Riverside early Wednesday morning. Later that day, Riverside County Sheriff's detectives found her car in Corona being driven by a homeless man. He was arrested and is being held without bail. The coroner is working to identify the body.
To say that he held someone hostage and he killed 2 people, including his own father.
Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan has details on the rampage page. He is live. Rob?
And that multi-city, multi-county crime spree started last night around 5:30 at this gas station. In all, 3 people were shot. 2 people were killed. The whole thing finally came to an end around midnight, way down south in San Diego. This is where it all ended, at a taco shop in San Diego. The man on the right is the store employee who called 911 and was taken hostage for a short time by the suspect. He is able to get away safely. That's when Jason Barton of Moreno Valley, the suspect, backs slowly up toward police. The authorities mindful that he has a gun in his back pocket.
Make sure that thing in your back pocket will be shot. You understand?
The suspect is taken into custody by police without incident more than 6 hours after it all started in Colton at this Arco gas station. Police say this is where Barton got into an argument with his girlfriend and then rammed her with his car before pulling out a gun and shooting her.
It was like pop, 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 like 6 or 8 shots.
Police say he then stole someone else's car and went home to Moreno Valley, where he shot 2 more people, including his father, who is now dead.
When she saw her dad just laying there, she dropped to her knees and she just started yelling out, "Daddy, Daddy." I mean, I started crying, and I only knew him from just waving at him.
Neighbor Crystal Brown says the man who was killed was the owner of this home, where he lived with his children and grandchildren.
Very hardworking man, always provided for his family, wanted the best for his kids, and it's just very sad about how everything transpired.
After that shooting, police say Barton headed south, where he was eventually taken into custody in San Diego. Colton police say they're still working on motive.
Right now, it looks like paranoia. Our investigators are saying that he was under the influence of a stimulant or methamphetamines.
I hear it. And police say that Barton was on parole at the time of these alleged crimes. The previous conviction was for assault with a deadly weapon. Again, 3 people were shot, 2 people were killed. The father down there in Moreno Valley and the girlfriend apparently right here in this parking lot.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. Another episode of Green Lit Gang TV. Much love, much appreciation. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. It means a lot that you are here. Really quick, before jumping into it, let's do the intros. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Hope you guys like it. If you do like the video, go back, check out some of the videos, check out some of the content. Let me know what you think. And you already know what I think of you if you're a regular supporter, viewer, subscriber to this channel. Thank you. That's really the best way I can say it. Thank you, each and every one of you, for the continued support. 2025 has been the best year for this channel. We are approaching 2 years for this channel. That will be coming up at the end of September, early October. So again, big shout out to each and every one of you. And lastly, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, hit the like button, hit the comment button, engage in some conversation, and smash the subscribe button. Let's roll. All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry the start of this month has been a little slow. I was gone for a few days, had a family thing going on, was not able to make any content, but I'm back all month. We're going to be pedal to the metal. I'm going to be working at my regular job going on like 2 to 3 weeks straight. That means I'm going to be making videos in the morning and at night. Also, 2 to 3 weeks straight, giving you guys as much content as I possibly can give you. This story, I came across it, had to do some digging to come across it, but we're going back to coronavirus days. This is in September of 2020 at the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility. This is in Southern California and Banning, California, within Riverside County, California. It's about a guy who had the worst kind of charges, child molestation charges, Rosendo Echavarria. Interestingly enough, could not find a picture of this guy. One thing you're going to notice in this video, I could not come across a picture of this guy. But regardless, I got some good information on him. We obviously know why he was targeted. And I got some really good information on the 3 people that were held responsible for his murder. We're going to read from the article that kind of describes the attack. And then we're going to be going into the background on the individuals responsible for the attack. But we're going to start with this article first. 2 convicted felons and another man were charged with first-degree murder and the fatal beating of a local inmate accused of child molestation. Aaron Allen Aubrey, 26, Jason Lynn Barton, 43, and Richard Hampton, 37, allegedly killed 29-year-old Rosendo Echavarria earlier this month at the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility in Banning. Now, I will say this really quick. When we go into some of the charges that these guys who killed this guy are facing, a lot of these guys are no good. Now, I will say Echavarria is the only one with the child molestation charges. I totally get that. That is the worst of the worst, the lowest of the low. He deserves everything he got. But Aaron Allen Aubrey, for example, was convicted of shooting his own mother. Jason Lynn Barton, I believe, killed his father. Richard Hampton also has a crazy rap sheet as well. But we're going to keep reading here. Aubrey and Hampton have since been relocated to the Benoit Detention Center in Indio, while Barton has been moved to the Bird Detention Center in Murrieta. In addition to the murder count, all 3 men are charged with a special circumstance allegation of lying in wait, which could make them eligible for the death penalty if convicted, and Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron decides to pursue it if they are slated to make a joint appearance before Riverside County Superior Court Judge Timothy Hollenhorst on Monday afternoon at the Banning Justice Center. According to the sheriff's officials, Echavarria was attacked about 9:30 p.m. on September 8th within a cell block where he and the defendants were housed. By the time correctional deputies reached Echavarria, he was dead, Sergeant Rick Espinoza said. The assailants were not immediately identified, but Espinoza said the ensuing investigation ultimately pointed to Aubrey, Barton, and Hampton, who were formally arrested and removed from the Smith jail in the last week. A possible motive for the attack has not been disclosed. And I'm like, well, it doesn't need to be disclosed. We already know what the motive is because of what his charges were, and for good reason he was targeted. Aubrey is separately charged with the murder for allegedly killing his 51-year-old mother in Riverside and then stealing her car in June of 2018. He has been jailed since that time awaiting trial. The defendant has no prior, so he is the only one that wasn't a convicted felon at the time of Mr. Echavarria's murder. Barton, all right, is separately charged with gunning down his own father and girlfriend in Moreno Valley on Christmas Eve in 2015. And he has been jailed and awaiting trial since then. He also has prior convictions for assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence, resulting in traumatic injuries, and felony battery. That's all I was trying to say when we're going over some of these guys' charges. It's like, okay, I read the victim's charges. It's like, okay, I see why he got murdered. But then I read some of these guys who murdered him, and I'm like, oh my God, one guy kills his dad, the other guy kills his mom. Hampton has been awaiting trial for an alleged attempted murder in the Riverside metropolitan area in June 2019, for which details were not available. And he has prior felony convictions out of another jurisdiction, but court records did not specify the nature of the offenses. He's from the Imperial Empire, lower Southern California area. He's a Southsider. He's a Southside gang member. Soleno gang member. Echavarria was originally arrested by the Cathedral City Police Department in August of 2013. He was charged with multiple counts of lewd acts and oral copulation with a minor under the age of 10. John Hall, Public Information Officer for the Riverside County District Attorney's Office, told News Channel 3 that criminal proceedings in Echavarria's case were suspended in February, that the defense attorney made a motion regarding Echavarria's mental competency to stand trial. So he was absolutely no good. Sexual assault, just absolutely deserved everything he got. I know I've said that a few times, but in this case, it's like, yeah, man, you were a target for absolutely a good reason. Now, interestingly enough, this is another article about this attack. It covers Richard Shane Hampton and the part he played, and he was kind of the ringleader of this, okay? And they're going to read or understand why in just a second. In September of 2020, the month of the attack, Richard Shane Hampton called his mother from the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility in Banning with a, quote, really, really important request. Hampton spelled out the name of a fellow inmate, Rosendo Echavarria, one letter at a time, and asked her to look up what he was in for. Hampton's mother said it was child abuse. Court records show that Echavarria was charged with 4 felony counts of molesting a child younger than 14 years old. His mom went on to say, quote, "Don't get involved in it," and he had 2 words: "No choice," her son responded. The call was captured on a recording and referred in a court sentencing brief. 3 days after that call on September 8th, Echavarria was dead. Hampton was seen on jail video after the attack, receiving a congratulations from other inmates. 7 hours later, Hampton was in a holding cell when a correctional deputy walked in. According to the sentencing brief filed by the Riverside County District Attorney's Office in the murder case against Hampton, quote, Hampton told that the correctional deputy that he, quote, "made the world a safer place for the children." He ended up getting 50 years to life. He was 40 at the time of his sentencing. He was in there for charges of assault with a deadly weapon, arson, and vandalism. He got 50 to life in the state prison on February 2nd, 2024 for first-degree murder of Echavarria. The accomplice, Jason Lynn Barton, 46, he pled not guilty to a charge of murder. Man, these guys are all 3-4 years older now. And the second accused accomplice, Aaron Allen Aubrey, remember, he killed his mom. Barton killed his dad. He was 29 at the time that these proceedings took place. Aaron Allen Aubrey ended up committing suicide while in jail back in December of 2024. And that leads into Aaron Aubrey's background. This is an article from June of 2018 on his arrest for his mom's murder. A 24-year-old man was arrested Thursday in the death of a woman whose body was found after she had been reported missing in Riverside. Aaron Aubrey, a transient who resided in Riverside, was booked on suspicion of murder after the body of 51-year-old Micah Maddock was located in an area near base of Box Springs Mountain that investigators said the suspect frequented. Maddock was first reported missing by her common-law husband Wednesday. The man grew worried about Maddock when she did not come home, stopped answering phone calls, and did not show up at work, according to police. Investigators found Aubrey driving Maddock's car and detained him as a person of interest in the case, later booking him on charges of auto theft, identity theft, violation of parole, and murder. Aubrey is being held without bail. The victim's cause of death has not been released by a coroner. Then we fast forward to New Year's Eve, 2024. More evidence has emerged to indicate that a murder suspect's suicide at a Riverside County jail was avoidable, according to an investigation by the New York Times Local Investigators Fellowship. As published in the Press Enterprise, Aaron Aubrey began to cover his cell door window with newspaper about an hour before he was found unresponsive, apparently to keep anyone from looking in. He also asked for mental health treatment prior to his death, and deputies did not complete a required security check, according to investigations which used videos and reports obtained through a public records request. He was facing murder charges in the death of his mother, Micah Maddock, and he was one of 5 recent suicides at Riverside County jails. He was also obviously involved in the murder of Echavarria. Okay, and this is Jason Barton, his background. Now, he was a Crip gang member. This is an article out of Colton, California, from also, interestingly enough, Christmas Eve 2015. A man allegedly fatally shot his girlfriend at a gas station parking lot in Colton and then killed his father at his Moreno Valley home before traveling to San Diego, where he held a restaurant worker hostage before he was detained, authorities said. And shortly after 5:30 p.m. Wednesday, Colton police responded to a shots fired call outside an AM/PM gas station on the 1200 block of East Washington Street. When officers arrived, they found a woman who had been shot in the upper body pinned between 2 cars. The 37-year-old victim was rushed to Loma Linda University Medical Center. However, she died. Police say the suspect, later identified as 38-year-old Jason Barton, rammed his girlfriend with his car during an argument at the gas station and then fatally shot her. Quote, "I heard like 5 or 6 shots and it made my heart pump really fast because like, oh my gosh, was that gunfire?" said Iris Haynes, who works in Colton. She was driving home from work when the shooting happened. Barton then stole a vehicle and fled the scene, heading eastbound on Washington Street toward his home in the 23600 block of Lake Valley Drive on Moreno Valley. Police say that's where Barton shot 2 people, including his own father, who was pronounced dead at the scene. Crystal Brown lives across the street from the house. She said Barton was her neighbor who had grown up there. She had said the first shot went off at around 5:50 p.m. Quote, "Then 3 shots were heard after I ran out. I saw the guy on the floor in front of the Corvette, and then I heard screaming," Brown said. Deputies said at least one other person was shot at that location but survived. Barton then allegedly drove to San Diego, ditched a car. Police found the vehicle and were eventually able to locate him at a taco shop on 42nd Street and Orange Avenue in Mission Hills shortly past midnight. The suspect took a worker hostage at the restaurant. That employee was released unharmed, and police took the suspect into custody. Police said they weren't looking for any other suspects. They had their guy. Barton was on parole for the time of these alleged crimes. His previous convictions was for assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah, man, all of these guys were career criminals. Richard Hampton. This is an article from March 5th, 2019. Riverside County, California. This is the one that called his mom and had him look up Rosendo Echavarria and needed to know who this guy was. They didn't really go into detail about how he knew or suspected that he was a child molester. But anybody that's done time, anybody that's been around certain individuals, sometimes you can just kind of tell. That's kind of the best way I can put it. A parolee accused of setting a 52-year-old man ablaze at Moreno Valley House. Man, these guys definitely had their own crimes. We're not here to say one is worse than the other when it comes to these three. And again, Echavarria, you got everything you deserve. But dear God, we got two people that killed their parents, and Richard Hampton's out here running around setting people on fire. A 52-year-old man ablaze at a Moreno Valley house, inflicting life-threatening injuries, was charged Tuesday with attempted murder and other felonies. Richard Shane Hampton, 35 at the time, was arrested Friday morning after the alleged attack in the 14600 block of Murfield Street in a gated community just off Moreno Beach Drive. Along with attempted murder count, Hampton is charged with assault resulting in great bodily injury, arson resulting in great bodily injury, arson to property, and vandalism exceeding $5,000. Dear God. When officers arrived, they located the victim who had been doused with gasoline and lit on fire. 52-year-old victim was rushed to the hospital, according to the sergeant, and basically at the time it was unknown if he would survive it. He did end up surviving it. It's an absolutely crazy story, man. A lot of times, I get the victim or one or two of the people have some crazy charges, but literally in this case, you have a child molester and then three people, two of which killed their parents. One killed his mom, one killed his dad. And then another guy set a 52-year-old guy on fire. Just picture that. Going through the motions of pouring gasoline on somebody, lighting a match or a lighter. It's absolutely insane. And Richard Hampton had gang ties back in... How I know he had the gang ties was back in 2001 was his first criminal conviction. And it was for street gang, like basically for the benefit of a street gang. All right, just to answer that really quickly for anybody that might have that question. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Absolutely crazy story. The more I read, the more I was like, wow, I need to absolutely cover this. But again, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, you already know what it is. Peace.